All right, so get this. Picture Paris, but not the Paris you're thinking of, like totally not.
Not the croissants in the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly. This is Paris 2073, totally reclaimed by nature. Like imagine the Eiffel Tower, right? But it's just this twisted metal skeleton. That's where Paris in 2073 AD drops us.
Oh, I knew this one would be right up your alley. You and your post-apocalyptic obsessions.
Hey, what can I say? I like a good mystery.
Yeah.
And this story, oh man, it delivers. But yeah, we're diving into the first 4 chapters today, trying to piece together this world alongside the time traveler narrator, by the way.
Yeah, it's like the setting itself is a puzzle, and we're putting the pieces together as we go. But it's not just any puzzle. It's got that classic post-apocalyptic vibe you love. Crumbling buildings, eerie silence, you know the drill.
Oh, I know the drill. But then throw in the time travel element, and boom, everything's amped up. Speaking of amped up, did you see that image of the Eiffel Tower in Chapter 1? The twisted metal? I mean, come on.
Chills, right. And it's not just oh, look, a broken landmark thing. It's deeper. It's like the story showing us how even the strongest symbols of humanity can't stand up to time.
Wow, deep. But I see what you mean. It's like this haunting reminder.
Right. And the detail, knowing you, I bet you were soaking up every word describing how it was deformed. It's twisted, like from the inside out, you know.
Totally. It's like you can practically feel the wind whistling through those broken beams or smell the damp earth where cafes used to be. Super immersive.
And speaking of immersive, Chapter 2, things get even more intense. We're going underground.
Oh, into the metro.
Yeah.
I bet even without the apocalypse, that place already had some creepy vibes.
Right. And it only gets creepier because this is where those cryptic messages you mentioned start showing up. Scrawled all over the tunnel walls.
Oh, yeah, those were weird. Like something out of a code-breaking thriller. What were they again? I
Well-
can't remember.
Well, the story keeps them vague on purpose, I think. It's like a jumble of languages, old and new, all hinting at some kind of science experiment gone wrong.
Ooh, juicy. Like someone was trying to warn future generations.
Knowing you, I bet you tried to decipher them yourself.
100%. Even got out my old French textbook.
But like you said, the story doles out the clues slowly, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's not all cryptic messages down there. Remember what else the narrator finds in the metro?
Oh, right. Wasn't it something about a key or something?
Yeah, a memory key. And that's where things start to get really interesting.
A memory key. Okay, now you've got my attention. Sounds like something straight out of a video game. What do we even know about it at this point?
Well, the story's being pretty tight-lipped about the specifics. You know how they like to keep us guessing?
Oh, tell me about it. It's like they're dangling a prize just out of reach.
Exactly. But even without all the details, the way it's described, this memory key, it's not just some random gadget. It feels more like a crucial piece of a much bigger puzzle.
Ooh, a puzzle piece. I like it. Speaking of puzzles, Chapter 3 takes us to, wait for it, the Louvre.
Ah, the Louvre, even in ruins, gotta be a sight.
Right. I mean, can you imagine wandering through those empty halls, masterpieces crumbling on the walls? Talk about bittersweet. And you were saying our narrator finds something there, something big.
Yeah, it's not exactly a souvenir, but I see where you're going with that. Deep inside the Louvre, tucked away, the narrator stumbles on this hidden chamber, and inside, books, tons of them, ancient books.
Ancient books. So we're not talking about like first edition's Twilight here.
No, definitely not Twilight. These books, they seem to describe this powerful machine.
A machine, huh? I knew it. I was either had to be a machine involved somewhere.
A machine capable of, get this, shaping reality.
Shaping reality. Whoa. Okay, hold on. My brain's doing backflips now. Let's see. We've got this machine, ancient books, cryptic messages, a whole missing civilization. Are we thinking this machine is what took everyone out? Or maybe it's the key to bringing them back?
See, those are the questions the story wants us thinking about. But just when you think you're starting to get it, Chapter 4 throws a curveball. Pigeons.
Pigeons. Okay, I did not see that coming. What's so special about pigeons in the apocalypse? Are they like giant or radioactive?
You'll have to keep reading to find out, but let's just say they're not your average birds. These pigeons, they seem to have this intelligence, you know? They lead the narrator through the streets of Montmartre, like they're guiding him.
Okay, that's a little creepy, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What are they guiding him to? Did you say they led him to a statue?
A statue covered in those same cryptic symbols we saw in the metro.
Wait, those symbols again? They're like everywhere. It's like they're trying to tell us something.
Maybe they are. Don't forget about that sketchbook you mentioned, the one with the drawings of those symbols.
Right. It's like someone was trying to document something, to leave a message.
Exactly. Like a breadcrumb trail leading to, well, who knows what. But it definitely makes you think, doesn't it?
Seriously, though, pigeons as tour guides. What's next? Philosophical rats. Okay, so we've got all these mysteries, the key, the books, those symbols that are everywhere. What really gets to me, though, is how the narrator, the time traveler guy, how he reacts to it all.
It is kind of fascinating. I mean, he's a time traveler, right? You'd think he'd be used to weird stuff, but he reacts to everything so human, you know?
Totally. Like that thing with the pigeons you were talking about. He doesn't just write them off. He's trying to figure them out like he really wants to understand.
Exactly. He's not just observing, he's connecting.
Yeah.
You can practically feel his curiosity, his fear even. Makes you realize, even in this empty world, he's rediscovering what it means to be human.
Deep stuff, man. And that actually reminds me, those other sci-fi stories you mentioned, the ones about what happens after humanity's gone, it sounds like Paris in 2073 AD is kind of riffing on those themes, but in its own way.
Right? It's got that classic post-apocalyptic DNA, but then it throws these curveballs at you, the pigeons, the memory key, the whole vibe of the thing. It's familiar, but totally new at the same time. You know what it's like. It's like finding a vintage record player, right? But instead of old jazz, it's playing some kind of futuristic music you've never even heard before.
I'm digging the analogy.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this story so far. It keeps you guessing, keeps you hooked. So to wrap things up, where do you think all this is leading? Any theories you're kicking around in that brain of yours?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. We've got this memory key just waiting to be unlocked, potentially dangerous ancient knowledge. And let's not forget those pigeons. They've got to play a bigger role, right? Who knows? Maybe they hold the key to understanding those cryptic symbols.
Maybe they do. See, that's what I love about a good deep dive like this. More questions than answers, but hey, that's half the fun, isn't it? It's like we've just scratched the surface of this world, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to dive headfirst into the next chapter.
Couldn't agree more.
So, to our listeners out there, if you're looking for a story that'll transport you to a future Paris that's both beautiful and haunting, a story that'll make you think, well, this is it, check out Paris in 2073 AD. You won't regret it.